such an important part. And they were when you're in person. When you're in person, some of it happens naturally, right? So you kind of take that a little bit for granted, but there's some real key reasons why virtual, that you be incredibly thoughtful about these. I kind of summarize it into three core things. The first is interaction for attendees, giving them an opportunity to contribute, to interact, and to talk and collaborate with their peers. I've never been a part of any event, in person or virtual, where somebody came out and said, gosh, I wish there was just less interaction. I wish I had more of an opportunity to sit and watch. But we've heard a lot of times people come out and say, man, my only complaint about that was the breakouts and the interaction with my peers were way too short. Either it didn't happen, I wish there was an opportunity, or were too short. You know, we had 10-minute breakouts and they said I had to be back at an exact point of time, and we were just starting to get into the meaty part of the conversation. And they told us we had to get back into the room, right? And I could have talked in that for an hour. We see it in, as you said, how they rate the events. They're time and time again rated the top portion and the top sessions throughout any kickoffs or really any event. So the first is interaction. The second is real world applicability. So there's nothing against marketing and product teams, right? You need a core message. You need something that fits across the entire company. You need some standardization, but also standardization can be incredibly theoretical, where you get a message and that message is just theoretically supposed to apply to an entire market. That gets much more interesting when you apply a broader message meant for all of your customers or entire market down to a single one, or a single specific problem inside of the company. So how do you get away from the theoretical and into the real world? And there's no better way of doing it than bringing practitioner sellers and having them talk and lead a discussion of their own about some specific scenario they're dealing with. And the third is connection. So connection and networking is something that you have to be really thoughtful about virtually. Very few people, I hate it, and most people don't like it, but I'm sure there's some people out there, I don't want to offend anybody, but most people don't like forced virtual networking, right? Speed networking. We're going to force people to jump in these rooms and just talk to one another, and there's not really a direction of what they're supposed to do. It's awkward, right? And you try, and there's some value to it, but it is awkward and it's uncomfortable. But giving somebody a purpose, a thing to talk about, to jump in and have that discussion, not only allows them to interact with one another and be interactive themselves, and not only gives them real world, but it's just an opportunity to connect with peers that they don't always talk to every single day. So there's a networking aspect to it as well.